So yeah, basically we have no idea who we're talking to, who we're looking at, but yeah, the cleaning lady and then a guy who we knew was there about fixing the lock or something was still like repairing the lock outside because it's like a code lock, which makes sense with an Airbnb because they're switching out guests all the time, so they just have a code. They were resetting it, he was still resetting it, and we didn't really look around until they left. Then when they left, we were gonna start like unpacking things and we were gonna shower and do all the regular things. Uh, Basically, we had so much go on before this experience even that by the time we got here, we thought like that we'd already been through a lot and we were excited to just be where we were supposed to be, where we intended to be, and that things were gonna be fine. Unpacking and looking through the place and just looking around, I felt so angry and like just disgusted. Basically, I just could not believe the state that the Airbnb was in. And I mean everything. We took some photos along the way, but basically the entire Airbnb was filthy, like disgusting. And it was so late and I didn't know what to do and I didn't know really who was responsible. Is it the host guy that we've never met? Is he responsible? Is the cleaning lady responsible? The person doing the laundry? Was the handyman somehow responsible? Like, I don't know. Maybe I should sit down and then I'll just get up when I'm actually showing you specific areas. So this is where I usually am sitting in here. Let me put something up here. So basically, I could not, I didn't know who to reach out to, who to message, and what I was even gonna say because I felt so emotional just because we were gonna, it's a lot of money when you stay for practically a month. I think it's like a day less than a month or no, maybe like 4 days less than a month or something. By the time we got here, that's how long we were staying for. And I just could not believe it. So I said to my boyfriend, like, there isn't even cleaning supplies here. We need to go out right now and get cleaning supplies. I think it was almost 10 by the time we got to the grocery store. We bought a little bit of groceries and a bit of cleaning supplies. Then we started, then we came back and we started looking. I basically was like, we just need to clean everything that you're gonna wanna touch, that you're gonna use in the first, 12 hours. I didn't even wanna take off my shoes in here, it was so bad. The walls were somehow filthy, like food and liquid and like dripping down and stains and handprints. The floor was like needed to be swept, vacuumed, mopped, all the things. Like there was stuff on just everything, everywhere was so dirty. When you want to like go have a shower to get clean, you're like, oh, actually the shower is dirtier than I am. I don't want to go in there. And I didn't even want to take my shoes off to go in the shower because it's just like it's the floor in the bathroom's gross. There's spit on the mirror in the bathroom. There's dead bugs and like crumbs in all of the cabinets in the kitchen. The cutlery you're gonna use has like food or stains and I don't fingerprints and and it just smelled so bad. Like, yeah, that one room smells that, one of the 3 bedrooms like smells like cigarettes, but it smelled just dirty in the rest of the house. I don't know if something like cigarette smell inside is something that you can really complain about here because smoking's way more popular, but maybe on this particular place you're not allowed to smoke, or maybe you are. That wasn't even the thing we were complaining about. Like, the smell in here was vile. But what was odd is there wasn't any rotten food anywhere. And just everything was so dirty and so gross. And like things, even the washing machine was dirty. If trigger warning, I will show you a few pictures. So like the wall being disgusting. You can't even really, I don't feel like we have good enough photos. Basically, right away, I wanted to just clean everything, speed clean, get it done, so then we can use the place a bit and go to bed and figure out what we're doing. We do a couple hours, and the whole time I'm like emotionally cleaning. I'm like, how is this even possible? Like, how did a cleaning lady come here if it's this bad? Like, what is going on? How is that even possible? And I said, there's no way. There is no way a cleaning lady or any cleaning company or anybody cleaned. No person cleaned in here. There's just no way you'd miss everything. Like, what did they clean? You know? The only things that were clean is like kind of the bedding and towels that were just being washed, but then again, the washer was dirty. The dryer was dirty. So, ooh, my hairbrush just fell in between the table and the wall. Okay. So then I was like, okay, we need to rewash all that stuff after we clean the washing machine and the dryer. So we start doing that as well, and I buy like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The stuff that they like supplied, I didn't feel like was even, everything is dropping. Am I moving the table too much? Oh no. I'm over this stuff a bit now because it's been a few weeks and I'm leaving soon. Nothing, you know, I've dealt with it as much as I can at this point. But at the time, I was so upset and I was so disgusted and I was so angry. I just didn't even know what to do. And basically, all this booking was done by my boyfriend. So I basically said to him, you need to contact this host guy who we haven't met, and you need to tell him like that this is so bad and everything. So he reaches out to him through Airbnb, and I can't even remember if it was like a huge lengthy message or if it was basically like, you need to have somebody clean the place. I don't remember. I feel like I was so angry. It was probably more than that. But I think it was just something like along the lines of like, the entire place is a disaster and it needs to be cleaned. It's bad. It's really bad. And he kind of was like, oh, I didn't know. I haven't seen the place. I don't do that. So yeah, we'll have somebody come to clean the place tomorrow. So I'm waiting here all day the next day while my boyfriend's at work, waiting for somebody who's going to come to clean the place. And I think it was like 4 or 5 p.m. the next day, so I'd waited all day, and I kept saying to my boyfriend, like, I don't know when this cleaning company or this cleaning lady or somebody, I have no idea who it is or when they're coming, but they're still not here yet. I'm not sure. Maybe you should message and let them know that like nobody's here yet. And yeah, maybe 20 minutes after I said that, people showed up. People that showed up were the handyman again and the same cleaning lady from before. But they came in very aggressively and they were like, you don't, like, we've never had anybody stay here ever complain about how clean it was. I think your standards are too high. I don't think you know what you're talking about. What's dirty? Show me what's wrong. Show me the problem. And I was like, yeah, I will gladly show you. And I was like, it is that dirty. It was that dirty. It's still that dirty. It is not good in here. And I was very angry. So I just kind of really went for it. I was like, this is insane that you would be that the guy or whoever it is would be charging to have this place rented out. Like, it's in such a bad state. I don't know how anybody could feel right charging for this. Like, it's disgusting in here. It's all dirty. Every room is disgusting. The floor, the walls, and I was showing them around the place, like particular areas, but then they were kind of like, oh, it's not that bad. And I was like, well, let me show you some of the pictures as well. So I was showing them on my phone too, the pictures of the place, the specific areas that we had cleaned that were so disgusting. And somehow that kind of style of conversation went on for 30 minutes, like actual arguing, kind of like fighting, and needing to justify myself and bring up enough points. And then finally they kind of were like, oh yeah, no, you're right. And I'm like, I know I'm right. Of course I'm right. This isn't. And oh my, that was just, I remember, even though it was weeks ago, I remember being so angry that I had to put in so much effort and I had to fight so hard for something that I knew was so wrong. And I just felt so attacked because, yes, I'm an adult, but I'm obviously a young adult, and these are two people around the age of my parents, like probably in their 50s, and they're so aggressive and telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about, that my standards are too high. Have I ever stayed in an Airbnb before? Because this is what it's always like. And, you know, people stay here and they leave it like this. That's not my fault. And I just like could not believe the attitude of these people. And I was like, you need to clean in here. Like, this is not okay. And I guess, yeah, after so long of justifying and I guess coming up with good enough reasons, they were like, okay, yeah, you're right. But it was so dramatic. Like, I remember she said, like, oh, I just cleaned in here yesterday. I just cleaned the floors. And I said, like, look at the floor. You couldn't have. And then I said, there isn't even a broom in here. There's no vacuum. How did you even clean? And she said something about the mop. So I've already looked through the whole place, and there is a mop. There's a very small mop. And I went over to it, which is fine, a mop's a mop. I went over to it and brought it back because I already inspected this mop. It was filthy and completely dry. And I said, like, it was filthy. And I said to her, there's no way you used this mop. It's not possible. I said, you're lying to me. I know you're lying. You didn't. And she kind of was like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, God dang, what the heck? But yeah, so he starts fixing some stuff in the bathroom, which I didn't even know it was broken, so I don't know what he was fixing. I still don't understand what he was fixing, even though it's been weeks now. And he's come back in there a few times. Like, I did know that he replaced the door frame thing in the bathroom for curtains and a curtain rod. I knew that. And he also fixed the towel bar. Half of it was coming off, like it had been ripped out. So he did like try to fix the wall and put it back in, and he did do that. He's since done that. It's all done. But what he was doing at that point, I still don't know, because it wasn't taking the door out. That happened later. So I still don't know. He said something about the plug, but I have not noticed any difference. Anyway, she starts cleaning in the kitchen, and I'm sitting here at the table kind of monitoring, because if she's saying that she's been the cleaning lady for this place and that they don't hire cleaning ladies, it's just her, like, to hire an actual company because they found that it's so bad, that this woman has been hired to do the cleaning at this guy's Airbnbs. Apparently he has several, is what I'm being told at the time. So she's like cleaning, but she's kind of like cleaning around things and not really like cleaning anything. And she's using water and like one rag and not even rinsing it. So whatever dirt she's collecting, she's just putting on everything else. And there's no chemicals to actually be cleaning anything. And this whole time I'm having such an internal conflict, struggle, whatever you'd call it. Basically, I felt like I have to be an absolute a-hole, basically, and I need to nitpick on every single thing here or it's not going to get done. But also, I don't want to be that person, and that's just so not who I am. Like, I would much rather communicate normally and have everybody on the same page and like just do the stuff and not have to get personal or get angry or get anything. Like, I would so much rather just say like, hey, this stuff is not good. I'm not sure if it's your fault or whose fault it is, but if you could, if that's what you're here for, could you clean it, please? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's what I would love to do. And like, can I get you anything, or do you need help? Like, that would be me. But as I'm like watching her clean and she's complaining so much about cleaning and how high my standards are, and she's still telling me that like it's not that bad and I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm like, no, you've got to take the dishes out and you've got to clean the whole cupboard, all of them. And she's like, no, they're not dirty. And I'm like, dead bugs in the cupboard is dirty. It's not clean. Tons of food crumbs, near dishes isn't clean, or in dishes or dirty dishes. It's not clean. So I was being like pretty, I would say like confrontational. Like, I had so much attitude while saying it, just so firm and so relentless, which is just so not me. And, you know, over the time of her cleaning, and I said to her, like, I have tried to clean some of this stuff myself, it doesn't even come off. And I was like, you need to use chemicals. We need to be really cleaning and trying hard. And I would do a bit with her, and she was just basically saying like, oh, I must really like things clean, and like, how clean is my house, and like, do I do this at my house or do I just make them do it? And basically over time it got like less passive aggressive, and like we were more so talking, and she was saying like, wow, like it really does look different. And I'm like, yeah, when it's clean it looks good. That's, yeah, no, you're right. And like with the wall, for example, I know that sounds like I'm being so nitpicky and that I'm so cruel and whatever, but it was filthy. Like, there were dirty handprints on the walls, food, like from your shoe, like footprints. I don't even know how. Yeah, food, drinks, liquids, everything spilled on the wall. Like, you could visibly, like, if you put your head against the wall, you could like see food. Ugh. So I said to her, like, I really do mean cleaning the walls as well. Like, she'd finish one thing and she was like, okay, I'm done. And I'm like, no, you've got to clean everywhere. But I was like, no, you need to clean the whole place, everything, all of it. It's all dirty. I just felt like, you have to clean it all. You can't just leave it. You can't just clean one thing and think you're done. So even when she's cleaning the wall, she was like, oh, it's not gonna come off. And I'm like, yeah, it will, but you have to press harder than this. Like, you can't just wipe a cloth over it. You need to press into it and use water or chemicals, and it will come off. And she starts doing it a bit, and I do it with her, and I grab my own rag with chemicals and everything, and I start wiping it, and I'm like, see, it's coming off. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay. And yeah, she just basically says, like, you know, no other people that have ever stayed at this place or any place that she's ever cleaned has ever complained about the cleanliness. And I said, well, if I was coming here for a shorter amount of time, and I said, you probably only have a lot of students here. I said, I kind of get it. If you come into a place that's disgusting, there's no cleaning supplies, you'd probably make messes and leave them. You wouldn't respect a place as much if it's not even nice when you get here. So I'm basically, like, throughout this process, I'm basically giving them a really hard time. The guy who's fixing the bathroom, he comes out here a bit and he's, talking to me a bit about things and seeing, how the cleaning's going in and everything, and checking that I'm fine with everything, I guess. And I said to him, people would treat the place better if you guys had it kept up well. And I said, you should have more. If this is like what you do for work, or if you're like somehow, getting money from this Airbnb, like, I don't know who owns it. I even said that to them. I said, I don't know who it is that owns it or how you guys are related. But if it's all of you and it's a team or something, you need to take more pride in your work, because it really shows. Like, I feel so disrespected, so disgusted. I'm offended that anybody would charge for this place, but that you would charge for this place when it's your job and you don't care. Like, I find it personally rude, because now I have to deal with this. I have to either clean it myself or just sit here and nag everybody and make everybody do the cleaning for me, which kind of feels like I may as well do it myself. Like, I basically just said it feels personal, because I'm having to spend so much of my own time and effort to have this cleaning happen that I and anyone and everyone through Airbnb deserves to have. Like, you deserve a level of cleanliness. I know that this isn't my own house. I know it's not a hotel, but there's a certain level of cleanliness to expect, I think. But then again, I didn't know. So as much as I was, like, kind of yelling at everybody or fighting or having these confrontations and conversations with everybody, I didn't feel like 100% confident. I was scared. I wasn't sure if I knew what I was talking about, if I was being too picky, if I was being high maintenance, if I was wrong, or if, on the other end of the spectrum, I should have been fighting more. I have no idea what I was supposed to be doing or what to expect. I'm roughly, a young adult. I haven't been to a million Airbnbs. I've probably been to like 5 or 6. And I've never dealt with this before. So I wasn't even really sure what to do or what to say. And I just talked about how, you really would think and you really should take more pride in your work, and just all these little things. Like, you're gonna have people give you better reviews, and more people are gonna want to stay here, and you can probably charge more if it's nice in here. So I'm giving them like a whole spiel on how to be Airbnb hosts. I'm also telling them how to clean everything, that everything needs to be clean. And this was over 4 hours, this cleaning. And if I'm gonna be really nitpicky, which I wasn't with them, I was in my own personal thoughts, it's not even a good job. It's not even everywhere I said. I told them, don't even worry about the 2 other bedrooms, just leave them. We won't go in. I don't need you to clean them. I don't care. They didn't clean the laundry room. They didn't clean 2 of the bedrooms. And I asked, after 4 hours, I just felt drained, because I had spent these 4 hours cleaning with her, arguing, both of them, off and on, talking to them, answering their questions. They were really argumentative. Mostly she was very argumentative. And I also, I was cleaning and trying to help the best I could. Like, another thing that I did, and I know that this is already gonna just be the longest video ever, but one thing was, like, this fridge had a ton of like dry erase marker on it. There were words on it, pictures. It just looked like a frat house fridge, basically. And I said, like, what the heck? Like, I know that that's not technically like dirty. It's just not nice. So I said, like, did you even try to wipe the fridge and like get the, like, some of it was like bad words and just random words and like grocery lists, I think. I don't even remember what was on it, but I said, did you even try to wipe it off? And she was like, oh, it's been on there for so long, like it won't, you can't get it off. And I was like, yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Pretty, like, unless it's in, you know, a really strong marker on a specific surface, like ink usually will come off, or whatever it is that dry erasers, whiteboard markers are made out of. So I sprayed some chemicals on a piece of paper towel or a magic erase. I think I used a magic erase marker, which they had bought. There's one there. Oh God, there you go. There's one there still. That's the one they supplied a few and then took the rest. I don't know. So anyway, I said to her, it will come off, and I went, I wiped across, and in that area as big as the sponge was, it came off. And she was like, oh, it's gonna look like a new fridge. And I was like, yeah, yeah, it will. And I just kept kind of thinking, like, why? Like, what did I do? Like, I don't get it. Like, we paid, honestly, if we were spending thousands of dollars to stay here for less than a month. I know it's a big place, but I just felt like if you're putting down that kind of money, you just expect, I don't know, it's such a long time. They were also saying, like, yeah, we've never had anybody complain. And I said, yeah, if I was staying here for maybe 3 days, I probably just would clean exactly what I was touching and then leave it alone. Like, I wouldn't care, I wouldn't eat here, I wouldn't whatever. But if we're here for almost a month, like, we want to, it's like a house, you know? So, man, ugh. I felt so drained and so upset. Like, I just felt like such, I don't know, I took it so personally, especially with all the fighting. Like, it wouldn't stop, and I really felt like they were gonna keep pushing me until I said, like, never mind, you're right, I'm wrong. And I wasn't gonna do that. And yeah, I was just so disappointed, and it was like new to being here, and I've never been here before, like, to Montreal, and I was so excited to come. And as you guys saw in some of my other videos, like, I'm so excited and I'm so happy, and like, I wanted to be exploring and doing all this stuff. But yeah, it was just so much, it was just so bad. And I said to them the next day, like I said to them when they were leaving, I said, you know, there's some carpet here. You guys, I think I said something about, like, should bring a vacuum, or could you vacuum, or I think they said, oh, I said something about needing a vacuum, or we should have, if there's carpet, there should be a vacuum, because sweeping just doesn't get the same amount out. And I think she said to me, I'll bring a vacuum tomorrow. I'll vacuum it tomorrow. Then the next day, again, I don't know what time anybody's coming. I don't know what's happening. I get a knock at the door. I answer it because I'm just staying home because I don't know when anything is, and I don't have anybody's phone number. And the handyman comes to the door, and he just hands me the vacuum. And he said, oh, here's the vacuum that you wanted. And I was like, thank you. So I took it inside, just feeling pretty defeated, because, you know, is it his job to clean? Is it his job, and I should have let him, or I don't know. But I kind of felt like if she's the cleaning lady and that's what she's hired to do, and that's one of the things that wasn't clean that she would do. And then I said, can you do it? And she was like, yeah, of course. And she, like, really seemed to understand why she wasn't there to vacuum. I don't know. Am I being ridiculous? I don't know. And I didn't know. Was I being ridiculous? It's already in the past. So anyway, she doesn't come to vacuum at any point ever. And I vacuum because I want it clean. And yeah, there's a bit of me that just feels like a little fiery and angry while I'm vacuuming and cleaning more stuff again and again that isn't my mess, and it's disgusting and as other people's. Like, even after she cleaned the bathroom, I was still finding areas she completely missed that had spit, hair, gross things, and they weren't my hair. They clearly weren't hers. And I would always be a little bit mad because I just felt so gross and frustrating that I was spending so much time still cleaning up other people's messes. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's like a bad character flaw in me. Like maybe I shouldn't mind and that I should be putting in I don't know. Then there's part of me that's like, if I was 10 years older, would they have treated me the same way? I don't think so. Because you would demand more and you would get it, or nobody would try so hard to disrespect you. I don't know. Or like push the boundaries. I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, she never came back. I cleaned a bunch more myself since then. And I'm going to make a part 2 because this is like the cleanliness and the state of the Airbnb issues. But that, my friend, was not the only issue. My second issue is a serious one too. So the little teaser I'll leave you with to watch the next video, which I'm just gonna film now, but I'm gonna make it a separate video because this one's already too long. And that teaser is about privacy. What's going on? You will have to watch the next video to find out. It's an interesting story. It's interesting. It is not something that I've ever had happen, something that I really did not like. Thanks for watching. Get hyped for part 2. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.